All right, let's dive into something really powerful today. We're talking about a major transformation happening inside one of America's most foundational institutions, the Black church. We're going to explore how it's shifting its approach to mental health, moving from old traditions to a new era of holistic healing. This is the story of an institution rewriting its own rulebook. So, to really get what's happening now, you have to understand the history. For generations, the Black church was so much more than just a place to go on Sundays. It was the absolute cornerstone of the community, a safe harbor, really, offering spiritual, social, and emotional support when the world outside was often hostile. But that very history, that role as a protector, it also created some really complex challenges, especially when it came to mental health. The same things that help the community survive sometimes unintentionally put up walls to getting professional help. And this phrase right here, it perfectly captures one of those survival mechanisms. It came from a real need for protection, right? A way to keep family business private, safe from a judgmental outside world. But over time, that idea, along with the advice to just pray about it, created a culture of silence around mental health struggles. And that silence, it's had some serious consequences. Get this. According to the U.S. Office of Minority Health, African Americans experience a greater severity of untreated mental health disorders than any other known racial group. That is a staggering reality that points to a huge unmet need. So why is that? Well, to get it, you have to look at the cultural pressures. A huge one is the strong Black woman trope. It's this idea that Black women have to shoulder incredible burdens without ever showing a crack. It makes being vulnerable feel like a weakness and asking for help almost like a failure. And then you add another layer to it: toxic positivity. You've heard the phrase, too blessed to be stressed. And while it sounds good, that kind of thinking can just sweep real pain under the rug. It kind of suggests that if you have enough faith, you shouldn't be struggling, which just makes people feel worse for having totally normal human emotions. So what you end up with is this big paradox, this disconnect. On one hand, you have high rates of religiosity in the Black community. On the other, you have this high severity of untreated mental health conditions. The traditional model, which was so protective in many ways, accidentally created a barrier, making it seem like you had to choose between faith and professional therapy. But here's the hopeful part. A big shift is happening. Church leaders are really starting to see this disconnect, and they're actively working to build a bridge between the pulpit and the therapist's office. So let's look at how that transformation is actually playing out. And this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? The old model was often about praying it away, seeing suffering as just a test of faith, which led to a lot of stigma and silence. But this new model? It's all about integration. It's not therapy or prayer, it's therapy and prayer. It's about bringing in licensed professionals and, most importantly, creating space for open, honest conversations. And this isn't just an idea. It's happening for real. Pastors are standing up and talking openly about going to therapy themselves. One prominent pastor even took a mental health sabbatical and was public about it. Churches are building entire ministries with licensed counselors, and some are even opening free mental health clinics right on their property. So what does this new approach actually look like on the ground? Well, it goes way beyond just what happens on Sunday morning. It's about creating an entire ecosystem of support for the community. This table gives us a fantastic snapshot. You've got incredible mental health programs for young people, like the SOS e-mentoring program. You're seeing churches partnering with schools, and check out the economic development side. Things like the Life Center, providing space for small businesses. It's a whole-person, whole-community vision. Let's just zoom in on one of these for a second. The Success of Students, or SOS program. This is such a smart collaboration aimed squarely at helping Black youth with their mental and academic needs through virtual mentoring. It's about closing that support gap early. So how's it work? It's pretty brilliant. A church partners with a university. That creates a trusted way for families to get involved. Then, graduate students who are training to be therapists serve as mentors, giving one-on-one guidance. The kids learn actual, evidence-based strategies to handle school and their emotions. And, this is key, it's all done in a way that affirms and celebrates their Black identity. And the impact? Wow, you can see it right in the words of the kids themselves. One of them put it so simply, but so powerfully. They said they felt understood. Just think about how huge that is for a young person. And it went deeper than just feeling heard. The program was building real life skills. Another participant said they learned to never give up. That's resilience. That's grit. That's a tool they'll have for the rest of their lives. And maybe this is the most important piece of feedback of all. A young person saying they felt confident about who I was. That hits right at the heart of it. The program didn't just give them coping skills, it helped build their sense of self-worth.
Okay, so this whole transformation is about more than just therapy. To truly support people, you have to look at the whole picture. And another massive piece of this reimagined church model is a focus on economic empowerment.
And we are talking about tangible, life-changing stuff here. Churches are developing affordable housing for seniors. They're creating community gardens to fight food insecurity. And they're building facilities like the Life Center to give local entrepreneurs affordable office space to grow their businesses. It's about creating a stable foundation so people can thrive. So when you put all of this together, what does it really mean for the future of this cornerstone institution? Well, it points to a really dynamic and, frankly, necessary evolution. If there's one core idea to walk away with, it's this. The Black church isn't some dusty institution stuck in the past. It's a living, breathing thing. It's brave enough to unlearn the old ways that aren't working anymore, and it's creative enough to build new holistic models of care that are desperately needed today. This timeline really maps out the whole jury, doesn't it? It started in the past as a spiritual refuge that relied on historical coping tools. Now, in the present, it's about acknowledging trauma and actively fighting stigma. And the future? It's all about holistic well-being, where spiritual, mental, and economic health are all seen as connected parts of a thriving community. And that really leaves us with one big final thought. This story of the Black church's evolution isn't just about one institution. It really makes you ask a broader question. As our communities and their needs change, how are our most trusted cornerstone institutions have to change and evolve right along with them? Something to think about.